Hey guys, it's Ashley Simone here. I hope you guys had an amazing Easter. Y'all, my favorite holiday used to be Thanksgiving. I used to love Thanksgiving so much, and Christmas too, because I just love Thanksgiving. I love being thankful. I am very thankful. But this year I have learned that Easter is the most important holiday, and it has became my favorite holiday. Next year, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna start going all out, like really all out. It's gonna be a big thing for me starting next year. But what I'm gonna be talking about tonight is a dream that I had last night. I kind of had to sit on this all day, study a little bit, get myself together to bring this word out how it should be brought out. So what happened was, in my dream, I got my notes, y'all. It was real short and simple. I think the short and simple ones, they they make me tear, they make me think a little bit more harder. But I had this dream, and in my dream, God was showing me my first YouTube video and the last YouTube video I did before this one. And I also saw instructions. And that was it. I woke up. So when I went back and I watched my first video and I watched my last video, those videos brought so much tears to my eyes, so much confirmation to my heart, to my soul. And I felt like this dream was telling me, and my own videos were telling me, all I need to do now is trust God. No matter what it looks like, no matter how I feel, no matter what, just trust God. And it reminded me of the story of Joshua, because in my first video, I kind of talked about the promised land. And then in my last video, I think I talked about coming out, no, not coming out, but being in the wilderness. And this video is going to be about coming out of the wilderness. And y'all, I had no clue what my videos were. My videos were telling me all of this. When I record these videos, I record it because I wanted to help someone else. I didn't think my own videos were going to help me. Y'all, I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna pray that I don't cry as much when I'm making these videos, but it's just the truth. And I'm sorry, y'all. So after Moses died, and Moses was leading, I'm about to start talking about the story in the Bible now. But when Moses died, God came to Joshua and told Joshua he wanted Joshua, to finish leading the people to their promised land. Joshua was a little bit afraid at first, but God came to him in a vision and told him, don't worry, I got you. I'm going to be with you the whole time. And the reason why Moses did not make it to the promised land is because Moses didn't trust God with his whole heart. I'm going to say that for a different video, but that's the reason why Moses didn't make it to the promised land. But God trusted Joshua, and that's who he called to lead them into the land. So when they got, their promised land was Jericho. So when they got to Jericho, not to Jericho, but at the river that separated them from the land, from Jericho, it was a river that separated them and a wall. And when they got to the river, the river was a real, like, crazy river. It was like, it was worse than, I don't think it was worse than the Red Sea, but the river was a fast flowing river, so it would be hard for anybody to like get across the river by feet. And when they got to the end of the river, like near the river, they saw the king of Jericho, and the king of Jericho was yelling like, don't try to come here. My armies will stop you. You won't get past my wall if you do make it across the river, and you won't get past the river. And Joshua was like, that's our land. We coming to get our land. So after that, Joshua walked away. Him and his people turned around. And as they were walking away, God called Joshua, and that's when God was telling Joshua, like, I got you. You're going to get to this land. Just trust and believe in me. So after that, Joshua was like, I'm going to send 2 of my spies over there to see what's going on, like how big their army is, how tall this wall is, stuff like that. And he sent 2 spies, and that's when Rahab comes in the picture. And Rahab was this lady who knew about God and all the miracles that he did in Egypt by bringing the Israelites out of Egypt and parting the Red Sea and leading them and everything all the way up to the point where they're at now. And she knew, she believed, she knew that they were coming. She knew that they were coming to take the land. So when the spies got over there into Jericho, they got caught, and Rahab was the lady who hid them away from their soldiers and stuff until it became nighttime, and she gave them a red rope to get down out of her the top of her house to get back to Joshua. And she asked them to please not to spare her and her family's life when they come and take over the land. And they told her, just leave this red rope hanging from your window and we won't touch this house or harm you and your family. So, and that part is really, really touching to me and important to me, because when you make it to your promised land, when you're about to walk in, God will have people there to be there for you, to help guide you in, to be a little bit of a backbone to hide you when you need hiding, because sometimes God likes us to be hidden. So she was very important. I'll probably do a video about her too one day, but she was an important part in getting to the promised land. And my bad, y'all. So after they made it back and told Joshua everything they needed to tell him, God told them to use the Ark of Covenant to part the river to walk to the land to get to the wall. So use the Ark of Covenant to part part the river. And the Ark of Covenant is really important. I'm going to do a video on that too, because that Ark was an important part of the Israelites' life, their process to getting to their promised land. That Ark was made when Moses led them out of Egypt. And when Moses was leading them out of Egypt, there was this cloud that they followed in the daytime and nighttime. And that cloud was called the Shekinah glory. And in the daytime, the cloud looked like a tornado. But at night, it looked like a ball of fire, a pillar of fire. That's what they used as a GPS. That tornado in the sky, that cloud in the sky was their guidance. They the way, it showed, I'm sorry y'all, it showed them the way to go. And the fire, the pillar of fire at night showed them, was their light as they walked through the night. I will do another video on that though, because it has a lot of important stuff in there. But that's how they parted the river. Once that ark went into the river, it dried up and everybody walked through. And when they got to the wall, how they made it past the wall was being obedient and having faith and being obedient. They never had to fight nobody to get into their land. It wasn't no battle. The king was like, yeah, it's gonna be they're ready for war, but they wasn't. God was going to handle that for them. We don't fight with flesh and blood. We don't do that. God handled it. All they had to do was have faith and be obedient. The people were a little bit afraid at the last day because all they did was walk around the walls of Jericho and kept their mouth shut and just walked for 6 days. But on the 7th day, they walked around. I think God told them to walk around 7 times. And that last time, all they had to do was scream, yell, and shout, and the walls would be below the trumpets, and yell and shout and have faith. It's all they had to do for that brick wall to come tumbling down. We don't gotta fight no battle. All we gotta do is stand and keep walking and praise Him, no matter what it looks like. When the devil comes to attack you, shout on him. Act a fool on him. Shout, scream, yell. Make some noise. The devil don't like a screamer now. He don't like a screamer. But that's all he had to do to get that wall to come down. And then with the king, his army, they ran. Because the army was kind of already like a little bit scared because they heard about what God did for Moses. They heard about the parting of the Red Sea and everything and how the Israelites came out of Egypt. So some of them had already know. They've been already even putting the king on point, like, you sure this is just stuff made up? But when that wall came down, his whole crew left him high and dry. And what could he do? One man against a whole army of Israelites? He couldn't do nothing. His own team left him. Ran. They fled. They fled. But y'all, I think that's all I have for you tonight. But one more quick point. Not point, but yeah, a little quick point. They got to their promised land and they took it over, and they didn't stop there. They had more work to do. More work to do. More land to accomplish, to take over. They had work to do after they made it to their promised land. But y'all, I'm going to get out of here because I can't let my video be no longer than 15 minutes. So I love y'all, and I got about 3 other videos I'm going to be working on. So have a good night. If you're watching this and you're new, please subscribe to my channel. I pray that it touches somebody. And I'm going, y'all, before my time runs out. But I love y'all. I hope y'all have a good day. Bye.